and it has been the Canadians who have won twice and lost once. It's the Americans, though, that have 2 gold medals to their credit. Sydney was the start of the wheelchair rugby journey at the Paralympic Games, and it was the Americans to take gold in that competition. In Athens, it was Canada taking silver and the Americans with bronze. But right through, it has been the Americans who have always medaled in the wheelchair rugby competition, and here they are in a position again, and they're going to have to go through their northerly neighbors. These 2 officials, Alexander Schreiner and also Liam Costello, the German and the Australian in charge of this one. This could very well be the gold medal match, except they already meet in the semis. Somebody will win and somebody will battle for bronze. This is the introduction of Canada out onto the field of play. They were silver medalists 4 years ago in London. They were the winners of the Pan Am Games in Toronto a year ago. That over the United States. But the United States, as we say, they are gold medal champions previously in the sport. And of the 12 medals won in wheelchair rugby since the start of this tournament in Sydney, 7 of them belong between these 2 nations. What color will they be battling for after 32 minutes or possibly more? We will wait to see. Zak Madel, the last player coming out, as you'll see, smiles, looking calm, and in his moment, what a superstar he is. He averages just under 36 goals a match for Canada, and he will again be counted on heavily for the Canucks to deliver the goods. And now for the United States to be introduced. It is their captain, Chuck AOKI, who scores that overtime winning goal against Japan that puts this team into the top position. And there, their coach, James Gumbert, calmly with a smile on his face. They are as ready as they will ever be, the United States. They have been here time and time again. And against the Canadians, it's just a little extra spice, isn't it? These 2 nations know each other oh too well.
Number 20.
They've got depth, do the Americans. Josh Brewer runs and guns with Chuck AOKI in that last preliminary match. But a couple young guns right there, number 20 Brewer and PUDERBAUGH round out this American lineup. They give added dimension. And there is only 1 player. And we'll pause for a moment for the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of Canada.
Senhoras e senhores, o hino do Canadá.
There he is, the superstar for Canada, Zak MADELL. 18 years of age, 4 years ago in London, now a young man, 22, and he will be tasked with taking Canada through the semi-final matchup. And the Americans will return to their bench and prepare. Interestingly, this American side, not one player participated in Beijing. They rotate this team through. They are the younger of the two sides. They're just under the age of 31, the average age. The Americans, a little bit older, just under 34, or rather the Canadians. This will be an interesting one. In that Beijing lineup for Canada, there are still 4 players that participate in this Canadian side. Chan, LAVOIE, SIMARD, and WILLSIE. All the way back to Athens, they were a part of this side. And then through Beijing, there are 6 players still a part of it. And equally looking back as well to London, 5 players a part of this side. So they have continuity, they have history together, they have their coach with them as well. But against this beautiful side, the Americans, as we'll look at them here, Jason REGIER, one of those that's still from this side in Beijing, and Seth McBride, the other in his lineup. Josh Wheeler was outstanding in that last matchup in day 3 in the preliminary round against Japan. So was AOKI, the captain, the leader of this side. James Gumbert, right, calm in preparation for this one, but the nerves, of course, have to be there. Neither of these sides, to be fair, want to fight for bronze. It's gold that they want to taste here. This, the Canadian lineup. Whitehead, a part of it deep as well in the history of the sport. Back to Athens, and Kevin Orr leads them again. But it will be Zak MADELL, who really is the player counted on for Canada. There are a number of other linking pieces. Cody Caldwell will have to play well. The 2 captains, Trevor HIRSCHFIELD and DAGENAIS, apart. But SCATURRO, AOKI, Wheeler, and COHN will start for the Americans. And they're already ready. BILETSKI, the 1 female player in this matchup. Whitehead, HIRSCHFIELD, and MADELL. The start for Canada.
Let's make some noise. Pode ser melhor, galera. Levanta a mão. Vamos fazer barulho.
And you can see it already with Whitehead, trying to loosen up those hands. This is tense. This is big time. We are a moment and we're underway. It'll be taken by the U.S. as the opening bit of control. AOKI, he will be the player most likely to provide the scoring. He does it again. He's got the first one here, and he averages for the Americans just under 19 goals a match. And he's off and running. Whitehead, a great target for Canada on these inbounds, particularly. And he has run into a couple Americans. MADELL has it. And MADELL will create space against most any player in this tournament. He can get away from them. He scores his first. And 1 apiece. I'm always impressed watching Zak MADELL, just how calm he looks. And I wonder whether that's equally a part of youth, not really always reflecting on just how precious this moment could be. There's nothing to say that this is a guarantee again in the future. But it's Chuck AOKI who will score a second goal for the United States. He is resourceful, he's got guile, and he is very skillful. And he will, again, be the player relied upon for the United States today. Whitehead, who has that sky-hook pass, so available to him over top of the defense in front. And it's MADELL who takes it into his grasp. And we're level at 2. So interesting to look at just how these 2 programs have constructed themselves. To not have a player anymore from Athens on this American side, and just the 2, rather, from Beijing. That is heavy turnover. So 5 players still on this American side from London. And Whitehead will create a new score on the board for Canada. That'll be his first. And so it's 9 exactly that return from that silver medal position in London for the Canadians. So continuity seen as their strength. Rejuvenation for the United States. This a great offload over to AOKI, and BILETSKI is not going to be able to control him from there. So 4 players, as you see on the rugby field at any one time, each one with a classification. The lowest numerical value is for the athletes with the lower level of function, from a 0.5 to a 3.5, and they have a total value of 8 allowed on the floor at any one time. So that's how they get a level playing field in this sport. Impairments in both the upper body and the lower body. MADELL turns and works and winds his way to another Canadian score. It was the opening goal in this one to AOKI, and each time as they trade back and forth, it's the Americans who reassert this lead. Wheeler can do just that. It's the contact, though, on his arm from Whitehead, and Whitehead will likely, or is it MADELL that's going to take this penalty? I think it is going to be Whitehead that got a piece of him, and he comes across for a minute. It'll be less than that, I can assure you. 4 against 3, the opportunity now for the United States. Effectively the power play.
Canada going down for 3 players with Whitehead sentencing.
So this, a matchup that in these stages, in the first period, all the way through to the 4th, they will go back and forth at each other, but they will be rather measured. They know each other. They know when they can peak. They know when to push it. And they know when to bring an element of control to the match. That was AOKI's execution right there. The United States again in the lead. They're the first to 5. You must be obviously on the field of play to receive that ball back. It was close, but they have done that thousands of times before. Whitehead has got himself into a little bit of a snarl here. He's got 2 Americans putting a vice grip into him, and he's got a bounce to the keeper alive. The offload out to MADELL. He supports it. He knows when to arrive. He doesn't rush it. And MADELL will just give a little bit of a thump to AOKI as they meet at the goal line. But again, it's level pegging. Over the top. And MADELL will be the first one on the scene. AOKI has got himself jammed in. HIRSCHFIELD arrives late. He's the co-captain for Canada. He tries to strip it from him, but AOKI is a very controlled player, thoughtful. Has a education degree from Minnesota. That's his home. He leads again with a 5th goal. The other one belonging to Josh Wheeler. Whitehead working so hard. He's a big man. And these wheelchairs equally are heavier than you will see in other sports. They have to be to protect these athletes in full contact. And they need that to make sure they don't incur injury. As a matter of course, they can get hit from behind, from the side. Generally, anything hit behind the axle, though, will be assessed with a penalty. And those are the cards handed in for the players to make sure that the officials know and tally up each combination of personnel out there, that they do not exceed that numerical value of 8. And now you see Kory PUDERBAUGH out there for the Americans. He is a speedy number, but Caldwell will score for Canada. And that has a dozen points split in half. This is PUDERBAUGH. Oh, he's running to Caldwell, and he didn't see him coming. And he popped up out of his chair for a moment, but he makes the important handoff to AOKI, and he will see that delivered across for the leading goal again. It's 7 for the United States.
7-6. Quase 4 minutos de jogo.
Caldwell patient, well distributed, and into Madell. 28 years of age is Caldwell. The youngster on the side, Madell. He really is highly regarded as arguably the best player in the world. Of course, Roddy Bat has something to say about that as well, but the Americans are ranked as number 1 coming into this tournament. Number 2 are the Australians. And actually, Canada finds themselves ranked number 4 officially by the International Wheelchair Rugby Federation official global rankings. It's Japan in 3rd, and all 4 of those teams find themselves in the semis in Rio. Caldwell will take a breather in that penalty box. That's a couple that the Canadians have taken. So I've not seen a team that has had the numerical advantage unable to score, but we have seen the team that has 3 equally score. PUDERBAUGH will just wait patiently, wants to make sure that Caldwell is going to be escorted back out onto the field of play with the right American guidance. And he takes it across for the score, so a new balance, 3 different scores for each side. PUDERBAUGH with his first. Contact up, we've seen it, and it's been turned over. The United States will win it back, and we'll just see what that was off the play. Caldwell gets wrapped up, and you see the change of possession. I'm not sure what that was. We'll just get the official scoring here. HIRSCHFIELD popped it. Madell is just again riding the rail here on the near side and can't keep it in bound. And a great attempt to try to keep it alive. So it was just the turnover on the tip-off is the best, effectively what the call is. And they do well here, Canada, to take this back. And they both, again, level. This time it's at 8. So SIMARD, a part of this team all the way back to Athens. And it was the build up to Athens, a documentary called Murder Ball that tracked the journey of both the Canadians and the Americans into that Paralympic competition that has inspired a generation of wheelchair rugby players, many of them playing in this tournament. All the way up, and this could be careless, as the intention to get to SIMARD. Oh, he might get lucky though, and SIMARD actually overcooks it. He wouldn't have anticipated that bounce to have been made available to him. And AOKI is going to call a timeout. And maybe Canada just left an opportunity there on the floor that they could have taken back. So these matches that they played in day 3, both of them, these sides, go to extra time, but against the other opponents awaiting in the second semifinal. So they have gone deep, they have been right in the clutches of top-class competition at these Paralympic Games in Rio. They know it already, as they're close proximity, even when they're not in big international competition. They will play each other just to benchmark and see where they're at, and to keep themselves sharp. This is PUDERBAUGH who takes the inbound. He's got great movement, great speed. He's cut a grain here right through the middle, and Madell tries to take a slice out of him. And he, with enough power and speed, will take it across the line. And he's got a second goal, and he has the eye of a tiger. He really is a battler, born in Poland, and quickly into an orphanage there, adopted across the United States. And here he is, representing his adopted nation at the Paralympic Games. Caldwell forced to call a timeout. The pressure from behind from PUDERBAUGH. And the Canadians now 2 goals adrift, need to make hay here and score this 9th one before they concede anything further to the Americans. So 30-second timeouts and 60. That's a short one. Just a chance really to readjust and prepare themselves. That's COHN with the equipment adjustment going on for the Americans. MADELL's happy enough to be in those tight places. He can get himself out of most any jam. Whitehead doesn't have as much speed. He does have size, he's got reach, he's got experience too. He's been around the block with his Canadian program. It's inside to the big man. The offload across to BILETSKI. That's a great score for Canada. And this lady here was the first female to participate in a gold medal match at the World Championships, those in Denmark in 2014. PUDERBAUGH. He's got a need for speed, and he will try to find it. He will. He'll force it across the line. And he, as energized as any, listening to the national anthem of the United States. He's getting his moments to shine here. Already off the mark in this opening period with the scoring. This for HIRSCHFIELD. He does the same right back. So now 5, 6 different scores for Canada, and the 3 only being utilized right now by the United States. AOKI is a real talent in this sport. There are very few. Every team has a superstar, and he would easily be recognized as that, but they probably have a little bit more offensive punch to the Americans. So much is relied upon Zak MADELL. A changing of the guard, and you could see in London 4 years ago that he was going to be the heir apparent. Garrett Hickling, David WILLSIE, long established as offensive threats and powers for Canada. Whitehead has always been there as a reliable scorer as well. He takes it, a second goal for the big man. AOKI has to go on the 2 wheels for a moment. And MADELL tries to stay with him, doesn't want to take a penalty, and again, it is the Americans setting the pace. Very little in as much as turnovers, steals so far. MADELL, as he looks up to see the game clock, will just start thinking about managing this last minute of play. Trying to limit the opportunities for the Americans to score and to have that momentum. He's against PUDERBAUGH. He slides inside that left post, and there are 54.7 seconds. They get 40 on their scoring clock, so it guarantees that Canada will get the ball back if the United States can score here early. AOKI just as happy to take it forward. There's PUDERBAUGH. He has been thumped by MADELL. He will go in against anybody, will the youngster. And sometimes coming up victorious, and often enough in this tournament coming out second best. Nothing discourages him from going back in for the next battle physically, and he is relentless. Canadians would love a defensive stance here and to control the Americans and try to counter-respond quickly with transition, but they're going to have to be very sharp. AOKI looks as though he's found an opening here. It's to the backside that the availability is for another American score, and it is NEWBY, the latest score. That's his first in the matchup. Wheeler and him with 1 apiece. AOKI 8 and PUDERBAUGH now with 4. HIRSCHFIELD will try and manage this remaining possession. We see how difficult it is. Just when you think that you've taken enough off of the score clock, the game clock, we saw a home run pass in the matchup against Japan that it was unbelievable. Executed by Wheeler up to AOKI, inside to Whitehead. What a play that is! And it's 0.1 of a second left on the first period. And you talked about timing it right. Well, it doesn't get any tighter than that. They will keep it within one. And that feed from MADELL into Whitehead is the surgeon's touch. As at the end of the opening period, it's the United States of America with 14, and Canada just one behind, 13. They'll take a break and be back in a moment. Just 2 minutes in between the two quarter breaks and a 5-minute break at halftime. So defensive fouls, a couple of them for Canada. The turnovers, they commit a couple, and a steal and a turnover as well for the United States. Flip a coin. This one you can anticipate will also go deep to the end of 32 minutes, maybe more.
Just seems to be everywhere in this quarter, pushing.
Vence, de novo ele, camisa 33 do Canadá, MADELL. 7-7, tudo igual.
The first semifinal from these Rio 2016 Paralympic Games in the wheelchair rugby already underway, and Canada awaiting the inbound opportunity. BILETSKI, Whitehead, HIRSCHFIELD, and MADELL to start. PUDERBAUGH is out there with AOKI. They also have Chad COHN out there as well, and immediately there is the need for some technical assistance on the wheelchair. It happens all the time. The wheelchair, obviously an extension of the athletes. And there the Australians laying in wait. They will be the second semifinal still to come. Arms crossed, all business. From the land down under, they will be here, and they are the reigning gold medal champions from London. Whitehead up against PUDERBAUGH. PUDERBAUGh has speed. He's got that quickness equally as well. He can change the movement. Look at this handoff. It's like the 4x1, and you're giving it to your last guy to run the anchor. It'll be Whitehead who takes it across the line. He's got 4, and he's scoring more than he has in the tournament so far. His average across the 3 games is 5 goals a game. He's got 4 already. Advanced up to PUDERBAUGh. He comes underneath it. He secures it, and he drops it for the referee to restart play. He has been very calm under pressure so far. MADELL can go all the way along that baseline. You'll lob it into Whitehead. There it is. It's over the top. And this really is easy pickings for Zak MADELL as he crosses the line. Gives himself a little bit of a facial, as he's got 7. So this from Canada, impressive to have already 6 different scores in this game, 4 for the Americans, and the reason being is because in a short tournament, to be able to utilize all your personnel, because they rely so heavily on MADELL, it's just important for their overall confidence to be able to find that secondary scoring and making sure that every player is activated. Because the Americans, they will utilize more than just AOKI. They get more from their secondary scoring. So with that, the pressure off of your top player. It's up to Whitehead. And he really is being a great release valve right now for MADELL.
Gol do Canadá é um empate em 16 gols. Camisa 8, Whitehead. Quinto gol dele no jogo.
Chuck AOKI, he's not the fastest player out there, but he has great vision and awareness. He has timing, and he again has an opening. He forces his way through it, and he wastes no time in which to get to it. If it's there, he takes it. It might not be there come the second asking of it. HIRSCHFIELD over to Whitehead. He backs away, but AOKI has got a hot hand, and he has stripped it right out of Whitehead's. And that will bring a little bit of separation here. That's what he can do, AOKI. He's capable of getting in there, and just at the right time, he took that long home run pass. It was like a Hail Mary from Wheeler, and it looked as though he lost it in the lights. And he looked over one shoulder and then the other and took it in his reception. But if they run out of time here, 12 seconds, a turnover violation. And the Canadians have put themselves under pressure here already in the second period. And you see how the Americans are celebrating that. They will know more than any just how important it is. It's a 12-second violation against Canada. It brings about a timeout. And like anything in any sport, it's about momentum, and it's about trying to control from the front if you can. So much more taxing to be playing from behind, trying to catch up, than it is to control a match from the front.
After this timeout, it'll be US in possession. Canada getting penalized for not clearing their side of the court after 12 seconds.
The ball back into AOKI, and he just bounces it. You must pass or bounce every 10 seconds to keep it as a live ball. He again is just using the cross-blocking available to him. So many different elements to this sport. American football, definitely a part of it, with that blocking that comes, so that really in that situation, it's AOKI as the running back coming in to find a seam. MADELL will just have to keep calm here. One more big mistake and things are in trouble, and that's just happened. He's been stripped like wallpaper. And this for Canada is troublesome. As timeout, PUDERBAUGH, before he gets it over and back there, immediately looks to the referee. And those are the quick hands, so precisely on the ball from the United States, that is proving to be costly right now for Canada. And you can see what the American fans think about it. They are looking to return to the podium and that gold medal match. So equally are these gentlemen, but their work is still yet ahead of them. They watch with great interest. Australia with the gold, Canada the silver, United States with the bronze in London. This to determine who will battle for gold. PUDERBAUGH, a new Paralympian for the United States, is having an outstanding first half. He has 7 goals now, as he and Chuck AOKI are running a 7-11 together. 11 for AOKI, and as I mentioned, already up to 7 for PUDERBAUGH. They are the 1-2 punch. A USA chant rings around Karaoke #1 arena. Canada are going to need to find a different gear, as they are driving, unfortunately, in a little bit of a slower lane right now. It's across the Caldwell. They will convert it. And that important just to get some offensive mojo back. This game is in rhythm. And it has to be played, obviously, with control, but speed too. AOKI leans out to PUDERBAUGH. Will he recover it? Wow, what a play from PUDERBAUGH. That is speed killing. And they just, again, will kill this Canadian defense with just a perfectly angled pass. You see AOKI laying out. PUDERBAUGH runs it down on the near sideline. Oh, that's great. Wonderful control from the American.
USA's 15, FREDETTE being sent to the symbol.
So the Americans picking up a penalty, and it's 4 against 3. And Canada will just try to utilize this advantage. A little bit less pressure for a moment on MADELL. A score will bring it within 3, but he's just managing that scoring clock. He's across the line, and he looks calm enough, does MADELL, but these are the moments where you look and wonder whether he could use just another gun to go alongside of him. Something running shotgun that can keep up the same speed that you're seeing from PUDERBAUGH right now. He really is. PUDERBAUGh can come back and handle it, or he can throw it forward like this, or he can catch it up. But MADELL has gobbled this one up, like Pac-Man. He will come and he will have to work hard. He's got 2 Americans, and he's been forced maybe. He goes over the top with a big lob right into the midst of SIMARD. And CALDWELL calmly will give the handoff to MADELL again. What a score from Canada. That's momentum building right there as MADELL shows you his quality. And then that pass there, a baseball-like delivery. You could equally say that was a quarterback strike. And Canada will build some momentum from there. Canadians in this timeout already on the floor and wanting to settle up against their opposite number. They need to apply more pressure, but equally, they can't allow any simple fast break points. It's going to happen, but they are smart here, keeping Wheeler under wraps. But immediately the cross blocking coming from AOKI, that's SCATURRO as well. The feed into AOKI, and he's handy there, providing the block, and then he's the passing option on the inside route. He's gonna does it. Misses SIMARD, one of these veterans, back to 2004, a part of this side, and this is MADELL now having to call a timeout. And these are important minutes. These 3:09 remaining in the second period, this opening half. How they set themselves up at halftime. Even if it's within 1, they'll be just fine with that. But they're gonna have to turn it over. They've gotta keep doing their business with possession and then start looking for answers of how to unlock this American offense. They've been machine-like so far, the Americans. They've not made a mistake. This is SIMARD, waiting for support. CALDWELL is the first one there. It's a 2-on-1 over against MADELL, but he now has it. MADELL will score, it's easy, and they conserve their energy at the right time to try and match up against them. He's the double digits. Whitehead has 5, so he has been doing a good job with them. MADELL might catch up AOKI, but he just concedes in the end as AOKI just throws on a little extra speed. powers across the line. He leads the entire match with 13 so far.
Estados Unidos 23, Canadá 20. Menos de 3 minutos para o final do primeiro tempo.
And just looking at this lineup for Canada, you wonder where that disruption might come from. Caldwell will take this score. Just that one turnover, because they had the inbound to start this second period. That means that the Americans will have it to start the third. So what could be a 2-goal spread would immediately become a 3 if it stays as it is for the remainder of this opening half. And 3 goals between these sides, that's pretty huge.
Mantém a vantagem de 3 gols os Estados Unidos. Josh Miller, camisa 10. 24 Estados Unidos, Canadá tem 21.
Stopped in his tracks, but he makes the play up. Well received by SIMARD. He's getting a rough ride from behind. He will be just held short of that line. The offload and the defensive players leaving the field of play. Well, they just count it as a score, and they do give the goal awarded. Equally, they can assess a penalty against the defense if they think it's intentional. But that was just in the course of trying to hold HIRSCHFIELD back. MADELL is the only one up against 3 Americans here, and it's just too tough to defend against, as this 1-2 punch of Wheeler now gets into with AOKI into full flow. Two run and gun options for the Americans so far. AOKI with PUDERBAUGH out there, and now Wheeler, he will equally provide the service and that release as an option for AOKI if he gets himself into a tight spot. They've got to work quickly. It's in. Long again from MADELL. The bounce up to SIMARD. He has been here before, and he takes it across for another Canadian score. It's his second goal now inside this last couple of minutes of this opening half. Every play is going to count, because this could well, as it has already, between these two sides that are in the semifinals, between the 4 of them really, the 2 matchups. They went to overtime in their last matchups. There's really no reason to believe that it wouldn't be the same in the semis. Caldwell has been steady. Good, reliable pair of hands up to MADELL. What a pass that is. On the money. And it's banked by their director of finance. That is Zak MADELL. He is the go-to player for Canada. And he is bankable. Not enough contact on AOKI. He's just getting away too easily. The play from Wheeler. These two are looking to have a little bit of a flow going that the Canadians have not been able to offer yet. Wheeler with great experience on this American side. Up to MADELL in time, and he just changes direction, but he will safely secure it. And it's across the line. So just the 2 players, they say, from Beijing on this American team. They keep coming, don't they? Rejuvenation and that replenishment of new blood. When you have the supply, the competition for places is high. And that's what makes each one of these Paralympic Games experiences so precious. There is no guarantee you'll be back. As this for Cody Caldwell, the offload, and this could just get away. That's worked out well. Canadians will be feeling decent about that, because that could have easily been another turnover. MADELL looks back to his bench and says, how do we want to play this one? And it looks as though they're going to try to utilize That's 8 seconds now inside. He's down to 5 on the scoring clock. Inside, what a play. And you talk about management. I thought he was going to call a timeout, the reason he was so deliberate about it. But SIMARD takes that, puts it in the bowl. This, if they can hold the Americans back, could be a momentum swinger. AOKI is proving too much right now. He has not made a wrong move. And MADELL just is going to hand it and hold on to it. No sense just throwing it long. So again, it was the first period of play with the United States 14-13 up, and at halftime, after 16 minutes, they've increased that, and they'll find themselves 3 goals to the advantage. USA 29, Canada 26. This is the first semifinal in the wheelchair rugby. Defensive fouls, they both have the same. The Canadians, however, have turned the ball over 3 more times, and equally a couple more steals to the United States. And that's the difference in the match so far.
Just seems to be everywhere in this quarter, pushing.
Vence, virou com ele, camisa 33 do Canadá, MADELL. 7-7, tudo igual. Left leg, and then right leg. Okay, you can use your arms like this. The girls can use like this, okay? And girls, remember, you can use your hips, okay? Let's go again. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, remember, smiling. Happiness is the spirit of samba.
That's it. Enough is enough. I think you got it. So, sugar free, please. Can you put that beautiful samba for us? Because now it's time to see what has been taken. USA, you make noise for USA. Faz barulho pra quem dançou melhor. 1, 2, 3 e já barulho pro Canadá! Muito bom, very nice, and
just about to start the second half of this first semi, and the United States have really controlled proceedings so far. They take the opening period 14-13, that second period by a score of 15-13. And they also have the inbound and control again. The Canadians are waiting. It's MADELL, HIRSCHFIELD, BILETSKI, and Whitehead, as AOKI has been able to score too easily so far. The Canadians have not had an answer for him. He's got 15 goals. And more than anything, he just is seeing the openings quicker than the Canadians can defend. Two Americans on MADELL every time. And that double team situation hasn't happened against the AOKI so far. This lob forward for SIMARD. Oh, this is HIRSCHFIELD rather. He takes that big collision. And he's now got a serious problem. Whitehead, though, pulls it out of the bun fight that was going on in there. And then the offload up to HIRSCHFIELD, he'll score. And the Canadians do well to control that ball because it just gets into the hands of HIRSCHFIELD. And then he is drilled by the Americans. The cross block, they feed out into the open field for Chuck AOKI again. And he is having it all his own way right now. They're a half step ahead, and they are certainly alert to what their options are. They're executing it right on the mark right now, United States. Whitehead trying to back his way out of that coverage from AOKI. He's going to have to go long. He thinks about it. AOKI, though, is stubborn, and he stays with it. He tries to steal it. MADELL, that feed from Whitehead to MADELL. So precise as they lean back and then change the angle to make sure that it does get into the hands of their teammate. MADELL's got 13. Just one player up against AOKI, and that's not going to cut it. They have to double team him. Create an issue because it's been too easy for him. He will again just carve right through this Canadian defense and open up that 4-goal lead again for the USA. So that is looking more and more the case, that AOKI is just getting too much time to distribute and be the catalyst of this American attack. And the Canadians have not found a way to try and square him up. HIRSCHFIELD received this from Whitehead. Whitehead has been a great distributor, a prime target for the Canadians, the big tall maple tree. But they have had a few of their Leafs drop off in this one. And the Americans are looking poised right now. They have one eye on that gold medal matchup as they go again across the line. This is Wheeler. He's been reliable. And all the way back for MADELL. So just looking back to that American lineup in 2012, Wheeler not a part of that lineup. So the 5 Americans, McBride, AOKI, SCATURRO, COHN, and REGIER. REGIER is the captain of the side. We haven't seen him yet today for the United States. But what a player he has been for the U.S. in this last cycle. This is MADELL, who comes back underneath it. So just think about this fourth period as well to come. There's an inbound for Canada to start things. It's back within 2. And this now, as you see MADELL have a quiet moment of celebration, is encouraging for the land above the 49th parallel. Wheeler, he is a worker. He's also a provider as well. He will take this one the full distance. He doesn't need to distribute. He has his route charted, except he's just hit a little bit of a bump there. And that's just trying to change speed or change direction with too much speed. So he'll just get help to get back upright again. These chairs are so heavy. And he's just trying to avoid MADELL, I think, the last second, and just catches a speed wobble. He's okay, he's back upright and ready to roll again. So this, a possession, the inbound for Canada. And with it, these technical timeouts kind of work well as a breather for all of these players. Wheeler suggesting he's been out there for 11 minutes, but they update that after every period of play, so I think it's more 15 so far. It's into Caldwell. He really has been, when Whitehead hasn't been out there, the reliable hands, but this has been turned over. US have grabbed it, and they've taken it. It's PUDERBAUGH again at the timeout, and they have just been quicker to the mark there. That players with their backs turned, the way they came up the floor, the Canadians, really didn't have the open angle to receive that, and they were almost unsighted and did that to themselves. So the timeout called by PUDERBAUGH will bring about this American inbound. He remains out there, so does AOKI, who takes this first feed. HIRSCHFIELD tries to get there. AOKI, you've got to get to him earlier than that. The Canadians have allowed too much room. Caldwell with a cross block on him. Well executed. That was Chad COHN, the 33-year-old American that opens up the space here for Chuck AOKI to again just keep this scoreboard for the United States ticking over. MADELL with a good angled pass up to Cody Caldwell. He makes it look easy, drops it off. That's his fourth, and it's back within 3. The speed is so much an asset and an advantage in this game. If you can get to those areas on the floor quick. AOKI's trying to muscle away. MADELL is there too. They pass it inside. PUDERBAUGH, just as quick as he receives it, crosses the line and puts it down. It's all business right now for the United States. They can feel with this 4-goal lead that they may have created enough of a distance that if they're just smart and effective, they see a chance to compete again for gold. Caldwell has become the second leading scorer jointly with Whitehead with that 5th goal. It's MADELL with 15. So those 3 players with 25 of the 33. And then a good balance throughout the rest. He loses it. He goes out too wide, as PUDERBAUGH. And the angle for SIMARD forces that. And this, another moment given back to the Canadians. They have to take advantage of it. They had one a moment ago, but then they give it back with that turnover in amongst too many Americans. Canada can ill afford against a side of the quality of the United States to make any more mistakes realistically in the remaining minutes of this match. It's come to that sort of situation already. It's up to MADELL. MADELL is in a jam here. And he's gonna wait. He's gotta get a pass. He does just get fortunate. What a grab by Caldwell to take that low in his wheelchair. That is a fantastic score from Canada. Do not underestimate that one. Wow. As MADELL looked to be pretty much dead to rights, gonna be giving up that ball. And the pass and the way it was taken by Caldwell, world class. This is where they must hem AOKI in. Out is waiting is PUDERBAUGH. He's got it. Then they've got to get back against him. He is going to force the issue. He's going to try to offload it. This could be a problem. He's got the shortened limbs. He doesn't have the same touch and feel. It comes out to AOKI. He grabs it. And again, he forges away inside that left post and scores it. And it comes down to that. You have to, at the right time, try to get the ball into a lower classified player if you can, and then apply the heat. And that's what comes with this sport. the disparity between the classifications, well, it's a team game. And you take the rough with the smooth. As Zak MADELL will take it across the line here. So he's brought it back within 2. And this is important for Canada. They just keep in it. When they've been back as much as 4, and then they force each one of those possessions to have to score to bring it back within 3, but that turnover is key. Can they do another one? They are forcing PUDERBAUGH to really have to work here. But he's quick enough and athletic enough in which to do that. His mobility and asset. MADELL tries to track with him. The offload, AOKI can't make the pass immediately. A deceptive move by AOKI, a little bit of a fake pass, gets the Canadian defenders for a second, reacting to it. He's now even on 20 goals. He leads this match in scoring. Caldwell is getting counted here. He's got 10 seconds to get it in. They turn it over. It's too easy there. There's a mistake again, and that could be the one that they look back on as well, but just maybe breaking the Canadians' spirit. It's forced, and the angle by AOKI is just a little too assertive, and he gets into the line that MADELL wanted to take PUDERBAUGH up against MADELL. This time they will score and right back, and that is the pressure on MADELL all the time. Every movement he makes needs to be predictable for his teammates to pass it to him, but equally than it is for the defending players against him. So a tough spot right now for Canada. They look in trouble. AOKI, just too much speed to be able to slow down as he has thrown on the afterburners all the way up, and he's having his game of the tournament right now. He averages just under 19 goals a game. He currently has 22, and there's a lot left still in the tank. Zak MADELL calls a timeout just ahead of 12-second violation. And you're seeing this Canadian side just slowing down a little bit as far as advancement of the ball, and of course fatigue becomes an element, and that is one of the parts of a story when you rely so much on one player to provide the lion's share of your scoring. And now Kevin Orr has come across and thinks differently about how they want to approach this lineup. This is Chan. He's been a part of this Canadian team since Sydney 2000. Every single wheelchair rugby Paralympic game tournament. Inside the last 2 minutes of the third period, MADELL will utilize the screening in front. He's going to pass it into Chan. Chan will get his opening goal of the match. The 39-year-old is on the board. Canada trying to get in that bumper. They need to be able to find something to slow down this American attack. It comes in waves. That's NEWBY who scores, up to MADELL, a gifted athlete who has it perfectly at the end of his touch. And again, one more time, it's across the line. But here at the end of the third period, if they got something that is going to create disruption. AOKI looks like he's got stickum on those hands. He just suctions that ball right in when looked to be alive and was going to be a pinball game for a moment. And he just takes it quickly under his control. Bounces it, keeps it live. This is better from Chan. They might have locked up AOKI. This is the most contained that he has been managed by the Canadians so far, but he releases out again, and they get deep into that scoring clock, and they get the conversion, most importantly. Chan, a good option, and they think about bringing in Chan to try and take some of that pressure off of MADELL to be the inbound intended target every single time. And a little bit more freedom. He talks about calming things down. We're going to try to take the last score here. If we can score here and then equally to start the fourth period, we're back by 2. Let's just hold tight, gentlemen. There's more to come. And a very assuring presence from a young man is MADELL. He will go across this line, so he leaves a bunch of time still left on the score clock. And it's one of those dilemmas. You don't want to leave it so late that you don't convert. This has got to be a moment coming up well as HIRSCHFIELD to take away AOKI. Time is precious. It is ticking, and it's advanced across again. Well marshaled and directed by AOKI up to NEWBY. And he's got his 3rd goal, and that 4-goal margin again. It's going to be tight for Canada from here with 1.2 seconds. It's going to have to be a home run pass like the Americans executed yesterday in day 3 against the Japanese. And it will end at the end of 3 periods. 24 minutes now has been played, and the USA are playing their game plan perfectly. They have a 4-goal margin, 43-39 over Canada at 3/4 time. This is the first semi-final in the wheelchair rugby. The turnovers from Canada, 7 of them. And the steals, the advantage, equally for the Americans. Those are the 2 telling stats. Every time we review at the end of a period, both sides will need a breather. This will still be hot and heavy in the remaining 8.
Recuperação da posse de bola norte-americana que resulta em gol. Vantagem de 4. Vamos para os 8 últimos minutos deste jogo. Estados Unidos 43, Canadá 39.
It's HIRSCHFIELD into MADELL. And BILETSKI out there provides the first screen. What a good move that is. She just is strong enough and in good position. Whitehead with the opening score of this 4th period. And they get to 40 points, Canada. They have to find an answer here for AOKI. He has been the Achilles heel of the Canadian defense all day, and he continues to be just that. He comes up, he asserts himself, and what a game for him to bring at the most important of times. And the way it's going, he hopes it's going to be the 2nd best match that he plays in this tournament. MADELL right now, right through the middle of them. They have a go at it, but he will find a way to score. And you get a sense that the Americans will be just as happy to trade goals with the Canadians. They don't want to force the play, put too much pressure on themselves to make needless mistakes. PUDERBAUGH, he believes in his passing ability. What a pass that is. On the money. You think about PUDERBAUGH, without the use of hands, Just the way he makes that play with such precision. There really is no words. MADELL awaits. He's got a couple Americans on him. He's just going to barge his way through. But that scoring, sadly, almost gets taken for granted. It's this defending right now that is most important, equally to the scoring. Because if they can't stop the United States, and here they keep going, churning, providing those screens, and Whitehead hasn't been able to get back and lock up AOKI. He's got 26 now. They can ride the wave from here. And AOKI is creating a pretty seismic impression in this match. And there again, another passing distribution. And it is not able to be accurate enough as HIRSCHFIELD with the intended target. His father, the team equipment manager of this Canadian side, Bobby HIRSCHFIELD. But right now, they'll be feeling as though this is going to be a difficult moment to come, potentially. They just, without an answer to Chuck AOKI. He has the master key for every single door the Canadians are trying to put up. He is through it as quick as they can bat an eye. Chan is working hard, but PUDERBAUGH right on him like a shadow. And look at this. It's again, the pressure is telling as the United States can feel it from this distance. They're 5 up and they continue to apply it. And Canada have not been in a position to do that to the United States today. And it's just simply a case of time and pressure. Being ahead the entire match. And then equally just not making mistakes. And that's intimidating. And it forces the Canadians to have to be perfect. And you have to give full credit to what the Americans are doing right now. Orr looks on, and he knows equally, however this is going to play out, the remaining 6:15. You have to keep it all in perspective because you haven't taken this whole journey to get to Rio and to go through this last Paralympic cycle to come away with nothing. So you have to put it all in perspective and just keep working as the professional team they are. Sometimes you also just need to recognize and nod that the opposition are having a great day. And that really, they might deserve what they're creating for themselves here, the Americans. And I think it's fair to say they have earned every moment that they are enjoying ahead in this scoreline. MADELL is in a difficult spot. He leads it out here to Caldwell. He grabs that well, takes it in with the right arm. It's back to MADELL, and he'll just ram his way through. It's a good score again. Consistent and dependable are his hallmarks. He's got 22 goals.
Mais gol do Canadá, a diferença cai para 5. Estados Unidos 48, Canadá 43.
Well taken, well delivered. The timing is pass already released before the impact of the hit, and that is frustrating for any team. You feel a little bit like you're chasing shadows. MADELL delivers the impact on NEWBY, but look at what he's already executed. Up into Chuck AOKI again for 28 goals. Advanced and into Cody Caldwell again for Canada. Across the line to 44 now. So that's a half dozen for him. Whitehead with a half dozen. 3 for SIMARD, 3 for HIRSCHFIELD, and 1 apiece for BILETSKI and Chan. And United States still keep possession. MADELL trying to come up with the loose change there. It had already, though, fallen down the street grate, and this will be the inbound for the United States. Oh, AOKI has it taken from him. Here's MADELL. And this, he'll just take off and go and score. So this, a flicker of hope, potentially, for the Canadians. They won't get overly excited as yet. They've got a lot of work to do. And the issue equally, not only they got a lot of work to do, but to do it against this opponent, who are the #1 ranked team in the world. Wheeler, the offload out to NEWBY. NEWBY will be tracked. That's a great move by NEWBY to throw the brakes on. They try to get it. They try to get a touch of it. AOKI, though, is slippery, and he will just find a way out again. He's holding it. He's also thoughtful. Doesn't rush anything. He points to the ball there. I'm not sure whether he's suggesting there was contact on his arm or whether he's just talking about, oh, they've given it up. And this could start to change things. The Canadians have held strong. You saw that the scoring clock was inside of single digits, and that was as long as it had taken the Americans to score a goal in this match. Realistically, I think only 1 or 2 other times they've had to go the full distance. They've had it all their own way from the beginning up until now. And this, a little bit of a squeeze coming in from the Canadians late in this 4th period.
Menos de 5 minutos para o final do jogo. Estados Unidos à frente por 4 gols. 49, Canadá com 45. Portugal canadense, repõe. 3 minutos, capitão.
MADELL is like a runaway train. He's trying to come through the middle. He gets held up, and there'll be a penalty. Is it going to come to AOKI or Wheeler? The indication immediately called. I think AOKI's in there, but he's pretty much in a vice grip, and I think they need somebody to get them separated. Almost been melded together there. So what are they calling? They are calling it against AOKI. Almost that pointing. I meant you. He comes over and grabs him, but it was number 5. He indicated 4, I think, and that's fair enough. So this an opportunity. You will expect the Canadians to convert, and it will bring it within 3. So you go back to those couple sequences where the inbound plays, the angles have been too difficult to execute. And that's just for fun. MADELL comes over just to pop, tries to get the American off of HIRSCHFIELD, is what he's trying to do there. He'll take the score, and it goes now to 46. He's got a 2-4 pack of scores in this one. HIRSCHFIELD's wrapped up right now. They want HIRSCHFIELD to get in to cause trouble, to maybe match up against AOKI. And this is CALDWELL. That was what he was trying to do. Still they're hooked up back there. Wheeler with the offload to AOKI. It's a smart play, and the Americans have responded well. And still they're wrapped up, those 2 athletes. And finally, they release, and HIRSCHFIELD comes all the way the length of the floor. So that part of the chess that goes on, this combat chess with bumps and bruises, is the new sort of nickname for it. Murder Ball was how it was marketed and branded, particularly after the documentary ahead of 2004. Even the movie. Whilst that's a different sport altogether, it certainly sensationalized things and brings attention to a sport like this. But AOKI will score again. They're through 50, and Wheeler again just gets spun like a top, but he equally puts it right into the perfect receiving hands of AOKI with speed. MADELL. He wants to score quickly, but they've got to defend even quicker. So all the players get themselves into a little bit of a logjam there. They're trying to lock up AOKI. Now MADELL can take Wheeler, but NEWBY's coming, and the offload for NEWBY, nobody can catch him up. He's just trying to burn some seconds off the clock. So 52 goals now for the United States. And Zak MADELL just straightens out. He comes across now for the 49 for his side. 27 of them belonging to him. AOKI's got 30. And that is his best output of this tournament. They can't slow down this combination. NEWBY has been effective too. Wheeler, the inside pass, right into AOKI's kitchen, right into his mitts. He's got it in the breadbasket, and one more time he scores, and they can't stop it. You're looking at Chuck Melton right there with the Abraham Lincoln special. That beard, so distinctive. Equally that intensity as he's yelling in from the sidelines, from his bench. And PUDERBAUGH gets anxious as well. This is his first Paralympic Games, and he looks on. They can smell it now, the Americans. And what this does is it gives you the certainty with a victory here of at least silver. You guarantee yourself a medal. Whereas the bronze medal match, it's 50-50, isn't it? So that's why these moments are equally as emphatic and emotional right now for the U.S. team. They've been beaten in this game twice of 3 times that they have played against Canada. They look to be in a position to try and level it here overall. This is the 5th wheelchair rugby tournament at the Paralympic Games. And the Paralympic Games officially start in 1960 in Rome. This is up into NEWBY. He's doing really well. He does a great job there. The ball movement, the passing, the speed, and equally the availability of an option when they get into these tight spots. Those have been the elements that they have been better at today than the Canadians. They equally have not been careless. This is up for MADELL. You're really asking a lot of them to go and get that one. NEWBY sees it from behind SIMARD. Almost whiplash as he comes into him. And a timeout, well taken by the American. That means they don't give it up, and they have a chance just to, with a $1:26 to go in this 4th period, and what looks to be the match, get a chance just to reassert and make sure they're entirely on the same page. AOKI is the money man. He has the ball whenever it counts and whenever they might put themselves under threat. And that was a 50-50 ball. They held ball, and it goes to the possession arrow, and that's still in favor of the United States. So here, AOKI again, the prime target. He has been scoring like a demon today, a man possessed, as he's just put his 32nd goal on the board.
USA 56, Canada 51.
Whitehead comes out again. A steady pair of hands. just to take a little bit of the burden off of MADELL. He opens him up. MADELL takes that the full course, and he will score again. It's within 4, but it's inside the last minutes, and the Americans have put what looks to be another nail in the hopes of the Canadians to go to a gold medal match there. Wheeler will score again, and Wheeler has got himself double digits today in goals. Look at MADELL fly. Oh, he can move. And you really can't fault MADELL. He has done what he's been asked to do. You really can't fault anybody, but it comes down to just little things, and the Americans have been better. AOKI keeps coming like a storm in waves. And it's unrelenting and probably equally exhaustive for the Canadians, trying to just think of a game plan for him. Oh, a good decoy, but it will be another MADELL score. These now you expect from here to be incidental. The Americans are experienced enough and smart enough to just keep the ball moving. Don't get into anything unnecessary, and I wouldn't expect it. They have too much respect for each other, these nations, in this sport. And that rivalry is a good one. Of course, it's heated, but it is because they need each other in which to be the best that they can be, both of them. And right now, the Americans look to have slingshotted past the Canadians. The momentum of a victory, of an undefeated scoreline already in this tournament. There is something to be said for that. And whilst it was an overtime defeat against Australia, in this short tournament, every little detail does count. It's Wheeler waiting to go across, and they will count it as a result of Whitehead going across the line. 3 seconds, one more play from HIRSCHFIELD. It's in to MADELL, and I think he's gonna keep it. He holds on, and that will be the gold medal match for the United States. They have come in and taken care of business, and a final scoreline of 60-55 over Canada will see them as the first participant in the gold medal match in day 5. They earned it, they built it, and they've done it. They are still undefeated at these Paralympic Games in the wheelchair rugby competition. Kevin Orr has to keep his side on course. They have a bronze medal match coming up in day 5. And you take the rough with the smooth, and the players will keep level as best they can. AOKI, a real moment in history for him. He has been outstanding. And what a day to bring your best. This is his second Paralympic Games. A bronze in his first experience there in London. It's at least going to be a silver in Rio. Who will they play? What a performance from the United States.
Mais uma vez, uma salva de palmas para as duas seleções, Canadá e Estados Unidos.
The excitement and the enthusiasm of PUDERBAUGH, you can't help but be excited to see this American team. They're in their moment right now. Is there another victorious moment for them to come?
session today. Congratulations for both teams. Tomorrow
So the scoring, MADELL 31, AOKI 34. Wheeler, PUDERBAUGH, the secondary providers behind AOKI. But they really were clean and clinical in how they executed their game plan today. Turnovers, the Canadian